great thing. So, and you're going to obviously identify who you're working with and try to put things together. So I think that's a wonderful answer. And as far as I'm concerned, you seem to be on the right track. Okay, so next we have Sean and then followed by Lillian.
Yeah, so me, I just wanted to talk about the women. I think if if the if if the woman, like if she's very confident and she knows like she can take the responsibility, I think it'll be okay. Like even same for the men. I think um you have to have the courage to do something. So like example, if we take a man who we say like we want to put a man, we want to put more men, but if the men do not have the courage to do whatever they want to do, so it's not gonna be fruitful. So I think if what the point I'm trying to say is if um how do I say it exactly? If they're confident, whoever is confident, they can do it. So it's not really saying, okay, we have to put like, okay, we have to be balanced. Okay, we have to have 50 women or we have to have 50 men. I think we could even have more women as long as you are capable of doing whatever task that is required to be done. That's my own opinion on that. And in terms of this what I would do if I was owner, at the moment I only have one. I think I would like different skill set. Um, like here we have people who have different qualities. I think when you have different qualities, you can actually grow better. Because if you only have one set of qualities, then it can be hard to kind of um, grow in other areas. So that's what I can say in that area. I don't know.
That's really
Did you
okay.
guys
Go ahead. Yeah, finish. Finish.
did you guys hear me? I don't know if it was on and off.
Yes, we could
Oh,
hear you. So just finish off your thought.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That at the moment, yeah, that's what I have in my mind. So yeah.
Okay, that's a wonderful answer. And from what I understand, it's all about, to you, it's all about can you get the right people with different skill sets together? And the other important thing you said, it's not about men or women. It's actually about who's willing to take courage, who's willing
Yeah.
to get to what they want to do. And that's what the message that I got out of you. So next is Lillian.
Okay, so for me, the idea of having men and women is a good idea. The reason being, the way we think in a different way. I can give you an example of my own house. I run the house. I help my husband even at his work when he has issues there. I'm the one who jump in and say, no, do it this way, go A, B, C, D. As an advisor, I advise him, I direct him, and he always say, I might have the highest level of education, but you are the brains behind me. My success, you are the person that gives me these whole ideas. He always ask for an advice. Do you think I should go this way or I should go that way? And he always go with my advice. So I think we need that balance of men and women. But the other part is, does the person understand the role they have to play in whatever we are giving them? It doesn't have to be just I'm a woman, I have to be involved in a role that I don't understand. You give me engineering, I don't understand engineering. So we have to put somebody that have the skill set of what they are doing. That's how we can be successful. And on the four ideas, if I'm the one to run this project, first of all, I need to understand who are my investors and what is their level of risk, because everyone is different. And is this investor looking for a long-term or short-term investment? I need to understand that part as well. And we have to be ethical in whatever we are doing. Be honest and clear communication to the investors. Explain what do we stand for and what is the roadmap of where we are going.
That's a very, very insightful answer, and I'm very impressed. So instead of talking about men and women, you've already have a husband and you already support him and he supports you and you guys make a great team together. So you are on the practical side. You already know that there is no battle between men and women. It's just we need both of each other. That's great. And when it comes to run your priority areas, you want to know what are your investors expecting? You're explaining to them. Nothing goes wrong, no money goes missing, nobody steals from anybody, because everything for you is about ethics and understanding. And I really appreciate that answer. So next we've got somebody, I don't know the name, but it says y'all, B. There's somebody, y'all, B. If you're still there, I was going to call upon you, but since you're not there, okay, there you go. Just repeat your name.
My name is Samkum, but yeah. For me, the most important thing is not the quantity, it's about the quality. If we have 2 or 3 women that experience enough, so that should be enough. I mean, we can have a bunch of women, but if none of them are experienced, or we can have a bunch of men, if none of them are experienced, it doesn't matter how much we have. It's all about the quality of the people, how experienced they are. So, in my personal opinion, if I'm the boss in this community, I will try to find out what can we do first. In which area are we going to invest? We have to identify that first. If you identify that, then we can try to set a roadmap. Because you have to find something so that you can have a roadmap, but without finding the area you want to invest. So you can make a roadmap all the time. You gain nothing about it. So first of all, you have to find out what area are we going to invest, and we can think about it. How are we going to do it?
I think that's a very important point. So you not only, it doesn't matter how many women you have, how many men you have. It doesn't matter whether they're men or female. What matters is the quality of the people. Okay, do we have the right people to get the job done? So it doesn't matter if it's going to be 80% women, 20% men, 90% women, 10% men, or vice versa, or 50-50. That's not the most important thing. It's about the quality of the people. And then your most important thing is, when we get together, what is our roadmap? Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Okay, what is our roadmap? And that's a brilliant answer. So I really appreciate you, sir. And I think now that everybody's understanding this and we're getting a lot of great answers, okay, so please keep up this tempo. I want to now ask this question. And Serapi, you haven't answered these 2 questions. I'll give you a chance. And then the next question, you can raise your hands to get ready, is going to be, so you're not making any money from this. So why are you going to put your time, effort, blood, and energy in the first place? There's no money. You're not making any money. And I don't think anybody told you that you're going to get a salary of $1 million or anything. So why waste your time? You're not making any money. So that will be the next question. Okay. So Serapi, we're going to give you a chance.
You're mute.
You want to unmute yourself first? You haven't. You're
Sorry. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Candy now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I was saying that my interest in this whole investment plan is to have something for the future. Okay, I'm not into instant gratification at the moment. I really want to retire back home. So, this is a way of doing it and ensuring that it'll work out. Do you know what I mean? Because um, like I said, it's not about instant gratification. It's not about making millions right now. It's about investment in my future, probably even my child's future. If she chooses to follow on from there, that's up to her. But for me personally, I really, really, really want to retire back home. So this is my way of doing it, right?
That's a very amazing answer. So your answer is, I'm not expecting a salary. I'm not expecting $1 million. But what I'm expecting is something that I can look to in the future and say, I got involved in this thing and we were able to achieve 1, 2, 3. And that's a great answer, because if you don't have that kind of spirit and that energy, you're never ever going to be involved in any project. And that's the honest to God truth. Every project is difficult. Every project might fail, and every project may lose you money. But there are those projects, if you have the right people, right platform, right mindset, that will work out. Okay, and I get a very strong feeling that this is the right group of people based on your answers, that this is what you're thinking, and you're obviously in line with the same vision that we have. So I want to give somebody else an opportunity before we get into the big question, which is, you're not making any money from this. It's going to take your time. Okay, you're going to be doing meetings. You're going to be doing updates. You're going to be reviewing documents. Okay, why are you getting yourself involved? And you're not making any money. There is no free money here or $1 million that you're going to make, except obviously your own investment, what you're going to invest into because you're involved in the project. So why would you do it? And why would you take your time and so forth? So that's the question. So I want to give somebody a chance to take, who hasn't commented on the first question. And I think that was Andrew. I don't think you answered the first question. So I'll give you a chance, and then we'll move to Lillian, who's already put her hand up to answer the other question. So Andrew, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. I think for me, more than anything, I think this is a great platform to prove and to show that Zimbabweans can come together and achieve something. That's what this platform for me represents. And I understand that we have a brother also from Gambia. He's part of us as well. But for me, it's just a situation where I don't want to constantly be complaining without doing anything about anything, just, being just complaining all the time. So for me, I think this is a great platform for that. And also, I do believe that I have the expertise to contribute in a meaningful way. I'm not really looking to be paid at this point. It's just really about that patriotism for me, to show that Zimbabweans can unite, Zimbabweans can come together and achieve something great.
Wow, I think that's the best answer I've heard all night. I will be very honest. And if we were standing in the same place, I would have asked for everybody to give you a round of applause. And let me tell you why. Because at the end of the day, we are brought together, okay, by our continent and our country. That is one. And the other thing is, we're just sick and tired of talking, watching, and complaining. So now we want to get into action. And that's the attitude. That's the best attitude to have. And that's what I hope, Mr. Chairman, if you heard this particular man, that you see the kind of quality of individual he's expressed himself. I'm not worried about the money right now. What I want is for me to put something in my mind and hands together with the other people. Let's make something happen. And then we're going to be able to show and prove to the world that we can get it done. Right? We can get it done. And that's why I really salute you so for this answer. This is the best one I've heard so far. And it doesn't mean to say the other ones are not amazing. It just means that this one really struck a chord with me. So Lillian, you're going to be next, okay? I don't know if you're going to be able to outdo Andrew, but remember, guys, this is an interview. So try yourself to really get into your best thing, because we're looking for the best out of everybody. And yesterday, I'll remind you, we had a great round of people that we've already got candidates that have been shortlisted. So we want to get you guys onto that list so we can put something together and start working. So Lillian, I'm going to give you the mic.
I am coming for you, Andrew. No, I'm just joking. No, for me, how I'm looking at this, the idea of we are not making money right now. As Zimbabweans, we are resilient people. We are fighters. We stand, you can put a Zimbabwean under the drain. They'll fight there and find a way how to make it out of that drain. So we can do it. The idea of making money, if we don't sacrifice, we are not going to make it. You have to try something. You have to do something than sitting there and not doing anything, and we expect things just to move and so on. We cannot. I believe in this thing. The vision is amazing, and I can't wait to start. That's how I feel about it.
Wow, that's an even better answer, Andrew. Now, I don't know if I didn't think that anybody was going to be able to beat you, but she said, listen, forget about everything. We are resilient people. We have what it takes. What we just need to do, put our minds together, and we can start right now, she said. And that's an even greater and better attitude than Andrew, because Andrew, you didn't say, let's start right now. You said, we will do it. Okay, so you're not in the now moment. And this is where I think she beat you. So as this gets very, very interesting, guys, this is our moment to find the best people among us that are going to represent us and make sure that we are all, we have confidence in these people, that and these people were selected not because of me or because of the founder, but because of their own ability to be able to buy into the vision and start to take a crack into it. Okay, now I want to call Tin because you've been very quiet, Mr. Prince. Okay, and I'm really interested to hear what you have to say. So I'm going to give it to you now.
Okay, I mean, for me, so it's about being around like-minded people. I'd like to think, whose passion far outweighs immediate gratification. I think it's shown by people signing up onto the platform, which the chairman obviously set up. I mean, as the others have put out, I think there's been a lot of complaints about, maybe we should be doing this, should be doing that. They're not doing it. But then the fact that this platform has been set up and it's now real, that's what drives me to think, I want to be part of that, and then start off with the whole process. I appreciate you're not going to get paid, but then, I suppose that's how great companies or platforms are built, because you're looking at the long-term picture, if you like. To me, I think the main thing is understanding. The first thing is the why, and then we go to the how, and then the what we're going to do. But then the whole thing is why we're doing what we're doing. If we can nail it down into that and understand that, I think everything else then starts to fall into place. Because usually the problem is we probably, go for what we're going to do, and then it's like, great, we're going to do that. But then if we don't understand why we're doing it, then anything else that we do beyond that is a bit useless. So the biggest thing for me would be just, let's establish the why first. And then from that why, you then branch out into everything else, which is how we're going to deliver, and then what that's going to look like if it's, commercial investment, and what that looks like. So that's how I put it.
You know what, guys? I'm getting more and more surprised. I was thinking that there's nobody who's going to come up with an even better answer. So, why are we doing this? Because if I know my why, then it doesn't matter whether I get paid or not. because I know my why. My why tells me, listen, you're going to start this thing and you're going to work with some people. You don't know them, but they're skilled and you're focused on the same why. So when people try to quit or drop, you're going to try to drag them and say, we're almost there, we're almost there. And that's the why. And of course, everything else is the how and so forth. Those are technical things. So that I think that is a brilliant answer, to be quite frank with you guys. I think that is a brilliant answer. So I've got Lillian's hand up. I think she's now ready to take on the another question, which I'm going to ask. Okay. Which is, so you know that you're not making any money. Okay. At least not at the beginning. And you hope obviously your investment makes you money. Okay. You're working with people that you don't know. You're in different time zones. Okay. You're, and of course you have to take this seriously, because if you're not taking it seriously, the other people are going to kick you out and that sort of a thing. So if you were the boss, again, you've been given, and when I say boss, it just gives you to know that you have the full authority. You've been given the full authority, right? So what are you going to do about all those things? What are you going to do about all those things? So Lillian, I'll give it to you. If nobody else wants to take it, Lillian, it's yours.
You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry?
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
Okay. I say with such a situation, you have to have the skills, how to work with other people and how to accommodate other people and find a solution. Because if we might be working, all of us, every single person is working, we get that. But we have to find a way to work with these time differences and all that. If it means we're going to sacrifice to do it even in the middle of the night, we're going to have to do that, because we can't accomplish anything without sacrifice. It's all about sacrifice and teamwork and the togetherness. And support each other. Whoever is can't attend, let's say somebody missed one meeting or so. Let's work with that person, find time to communicate with that person and give them the information. This is what happened in the meeting that you have missed. A, B, C, D happened. This is the decision. What do you think? What is your solution? We need to hear from everybody who is part of the steering committee, so we can have one answer. We are agreeing, we are voting on this same thing together, and we are supporting each other. That's how I look at it.
Guys, I think that was more than well said. And this is why I like Madame Lillian. She's straight to the point, because she knows that if you're going to get anything done, you're going to need support. And if you're going to need support, you need to be nice to those people, work with them, make them feel comfortable so they can support you. Otherwise, you're going to be fighting, okay? So I think that is more than brilliant answer. And maybe if I had the mic standing on top of the building, I would give you the loudest shout. So next, we're going to go to Sean. You have something to say, and then my brother from Gambia, you also have something to say. And by the way, before you say anything, Sean, I want to get to Godwin because Godwin's been very quiet, so we want to know a little bit more about him. So Sean, you go, and then Gambia, you go, and then we come to Godwin straight.
Do you want me to talk now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I just wanted to answer the previous question that you had before. It was the why am I involved? I think I come up most times when I'm by myself, I come up with a lot of ideas. And before this whole thing came up, I had a lot of ideas I was having, and I was like, oh man, but these ideas, they're big. Sometimes they require more people, and we can work together. Then when this idea, the whole commercial thing came up, I was like, wow, man, it's like everything it was aligning. And that was the first why. And the thing about money, well, I know, like, for now, like, I'm not really worried about that, but I know, like, in the future, like there's gonna be success. Because if it was only like, because I'm thinking about money as well. Because if I wasn't thinking about money, then I'll do something else different. But I know, like, the long term, is gonna be successful. That's why I think if we can work together and be resilient and come up with good ideas, we can actually achieve and be successful. So we can actually get paid. But it could be early, it could be late, but it's a long term vision. But if we can work together, things will happen, and we could have a lot of money, hopefully, and hopefully it'll happen. And if I was a boss, I think we could, like, what we. I was scheduled to have a meeting yesterday, like the same meeting that we're having now. But because I couldn't attend because I was working, I decided to join today. I think if you have like two groups, it could like it could help. Where we could say, okay, whoever can attend the first one can attend the second one. I'm just that's what I will say in terms of that on the idea. So yeah.
So that's amazing. So first of all, what I'm hearing you saying is you have to be committed, because you could have just said, you know what, I couldn't attend yesterday, so you know what, let me just forget about it. Like that's an attitude you could have taken, but you said no. I want to get involved in this thing, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. So that's the right sort of commitment, and that's the right attitude. And then of course you said things like you wanna get everything going right away, because that's the right mentality. And so I think that's a wonderful answer also. We now have the brother from Gambia, and then after you, we're going to go to Godwin, and then from Godwin, we're going to go back to Serapi. So just remember this order, guys.
Yeah, hello again. For me, if you do something, for example, investment or work, and if the money is the only motivation, if you fail, you tend to stop, because you have to have a deeper motivation more than money. For me, I don't know you guys, but African, we tend to not to work together. So if this group work together, it doesn't matter where we are from, that is enough motivation for me to do this thing free, because I want to see African to work together and to achieve something. For example, in Gambia or other countries, there are a lot of people from Asia, China, they work together and create very big things. So I would like to see we Africans to have to achieve something together, to work together, not against together. If this group stayed that way, I will be very, very happy to work free in the group. That's what I want to say that.
Wow, that is, guys, I don't have anything else to say now. Okay, basically, the man is challenging himself and putting his money where his mouth is, and he says, African people, when are you going to start working together? When? Because you are not working together. Look at the Chinese, they're doing it. Look at the Indians, they're doing it. So he's saying, I'm happy to work for free, at least in the short term, to make Africans come together and work together. And I think after that, what else can I say? I mean, I don't know what to say. Maybe someone else has something better to say than that. But this is a very wonderful answer, guys. And as you can see, every single answer is just getting better and better. But now, guys, don't forget one thing before we go to Godwin. This is an interview, okay? So you need to start thinking strategically in this interview, okay? So if you were the boss, again, think it in your head, because it might come in handy later. Which of these guys are you going to choose if you can only choose two? You and the other two. Who are these people? Because they all have names. We've got Lillian, we've got Andrew, we've got Sean, we've got Godwin, we've got Prince, we've got my brother from Gambia, we've got Sean, we've got Serapi. These are people. So you now start to think strategically, right? Think strategically based on their answers, based on what you're seeing now, because there's a lot of people who have tapped into the vision. They see that this is a vision about putting Africa together, about getting something going in Zimbabwe, about making money as well, about working with people just based on a purpose and not you don't know them, you didn't grow up with them. Okay, so just think strategically. Now, Godwin, just tell us a little bit more about who you are, and then just take on to the question.
Godwin, before you start, we have Malachi who's just joined. He's been trying to join and he's been having difficulties joining in. So can we give him an opportunity to just catch up and introduce himself and so on, and then we can take it up from there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So Malachi.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much for the opportunity to allow me to join. I was having some technical issues, and I think Mr. Mack was preoccupied with the meeting, so he hadn't gotten my message. But yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. I know this is an invitation that was made available to anyone who and everyone who was keen. But I'm grateful for just the opportunity to be considered, to be a part of the team. I am a 30-year-old young Zimbabwean, so I'm coming from maybe a newer generation of Zimbabweans, and I am also mindful that there are people here who are very seasoned, who've been doing business a long time, perhaps who've been overseas a while as well, and people who are actively doing business in Zimbabwe. So I'm here to not only be a contributor in some capacity, but to also learn, because I think at the end of the day, whoever is pioneering in this initial group of people will consider, passing on the baton to the next generation or the upcoming migrants who are around the world who also want to contribute to Zimbabwe. So I think here I'm very excited to be a part of a team that will pass on the baton to young people and the future of Zimbabwe. Yeah.
So Malachi, thank you and welcome. Okay, Malachi, I want to ask you. You want to learn. You're a young generation. You're very hopeful. You're forward looking. Okay, so if we were to say to you, Malachi, you're going to run this committee, yeah?
Yes, sir.
What are you gonna focus on? What are the first 4 things you're gonna focus on?
A great question, sir. Primarily, it's important to respect the leadership of our group. So I think one of the unique things about anything that is chaired or led by people who are seasoned is that, you don't want to be in a board meeting and feel very opinionated to suggest when there could be leaders who, you should trust your leaders, perhaps mentorship, So I think more than anything else, my primary focus is not to antagonize the mission of the group, but to understand that this group has a mission, has values, has a purpose. There are things that are to be achieved. And even if I think my ideas are bright, it's important to just, take a moment to listen and trust the leadership. And that applies in any company that I've ever worked in. I think whoever founded the vision sees what they see. And I think it's important to be supportive rather than to push a strong opinion that may be disruptive. So for me, that's a primary focus. I do trust Mr. Augustine and the initiative that he started even on his own YouTube channel. I think he is someone who is very seasoned and understands what he's doing. And I think anyone who is invited to be a part of the team needs to fairly respect that. Then secondly, I think with issues relating to young people today, and we are a newer generation of migrants, financially we do not face as perhaps an easy, pardon me, I'm just outdoors, so it's a little odd. So yeah, I'm just saying, we financially, our financial situation is very different. So I think I would like to be a contributor of a more relevant financial approach for young people who might be interested in investing, but we may not have the capacity of people who've been living overseas for 20, 30 years, who are probably towards more of their retirement. So I think any strategies relative and relevant to younger people.
Okay, so just finish that thought because we're running out of time. We have a cap for every discussion per slot when you answer. Keep it to under 2 minutes. I want you to talk to strategy and then you just keep it short, 30 seconds, and then we'll give it to Godwin.
All right, wonderful. A strategy. So, secondly, I think that would be a more perhaps customized marketing approach. So, young people who have gone to university to China, Poland, the US, who are in some capacity of earning, who would like to invest in Zimbabwe may not be able to contribute as much as those who are towards retirement. So I think a customized marketing approach to those people who can get on board early, because at the end of the day, retirement is like an exponential thing. You got to start early, even if you are compounding little by little, you'll be able to succeed. So those are my initial thoughts, and I'll give the opportunity to everyone to speak next. Thank you.
Okay, so one thing before Godwin, you take the mic, I just want to say something. I've just learned something very important in all of this. We need to use this as a platform for mentorship. And I've heard this now 3 times, 4 times. This is a platform for mentorship, because remember, we're building a community of people who have contact details, who have a skill set, who are just want to put into this thing, because that's how we build that community. It's not just about putting money or selecting 5 or 10 people. No, it's about building the community, and out of that community, we can have mentorship, because that's the only way you can continue. If you're going to go into the future, you need to think about innovation into the future, which means mentorship, getting the young people who are interested and getting them involved, right? When we do in construction projects, let them go help out a little bit with cleaning and all that, whatever. They'll make a little bit of money. I mean, it's not going to be a lot of money, but they'll still make some money. So Godwin, your chance. Now, remember, you haven't said anything much, Godwin, okay? And a lot of people are saying a lot of things, and it's all exciting. We want you to really take this one. We need to use this as a platform for mentorship. And I've heard this now 3 times, 4 times. This is a platform for mentorship, because remember, we're building a community of people who have contact details, who have a skill set, who are just want to put into this thing, because that's how we build that community. It's not just about putting money or selecting 5 or 10 people. Okay, but that's the only way you can continue.
Godwin, you have something playing in the background. You need to remove it, please. Godwin, you have something playing in the background. Please pause it.
Whatever, they'll make a little bit of money, and it's not going to be a lot of money. But
okay, so someone is playing something.
So Godwin, your turn. Now remember, you haven't said anything much.
I think it's his connection. He's lagging behind. So everything that he's hearing, he's like 2 minutes behind.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody.
Yes, good evening.
My apologies for not talking for so long. When the meeting started, I was a bit occupied. But I'm Godwin Nebarwe from Zimbabwe.
Hello?
I'm Godwin Nebarwe from.
Okay.
I'm having network issues because it's raining.
Okay.
I'm in South
Africa. You have something playing in the background. You need to
I'm in South Africa. It's raining. I think my network is a bit bad here.
Godwin,
Yes.
you have something playing in the background. Please pause it.
No, I've got nothing playing.
Okay. Someone is playing something. Prince has something to say.
I think it's my network is poor because it's raining here. I'm in South Africa. It's raining.
I think it's his connection. It's lagging behind. Everything that is here is like 2 minutes behind.
Yeah, it's raining. It's raining here. I think that's the problem.
Yeah. Good evening. Okay, Godwin, just try to log in and out, and then let us continue.
I'm Godwin.
Okay, go ahead.
From Zimbabwe. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, Godwin, continue. Please continue.
Yes, hello. Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, Godwin, remove your camera. Stop your camera. Yeah, Godwin, stop your camera and just use the voice.
So, can I continue?
Yes, try to stop your camera, yeah? Try to stop your camera if you can. Okay, Godwin, what I'm going to do, just fix your network. I'm going to come back to you. Let me come back to you, Godwin. When you're ready, you just raise your hand, okay? Serapi's been waiting patiently to say something, and then Prince, you're going to come after that.
Yeah, so I just wanted to touch on like, if you were in charge, what would you do? So I
Okay,
think all of
Godwin,
us
just
here,
trying to log in and out, and then let us continue. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think all of us here are in alignment with what Mr. Mack, what his vision is and his long-term vision is. So we know why we're here, right? Hopefully. So the thing is, I would definitely get a team with the various skill sets, because I think any successful business would need people with various skill sets, and also the trust. We have this issue with trust, with people back home, because I've tried, like Mr. Mack, I've tried projects back home with family members, and it just never works out. There's no trust. There's no, they don't have the same vision that I have, like in the project that I tried to do. So things just never worked out. So I would definitely say we need people who are all like-minded in this vision, right? I would definitely have somebody on the ground who would be overseeing our various projects and our various investments, somebody to execute and oversee them, so that we can be successful, and we don't get this negative feedback that we've been getting for those of us who have tried projects back home while being overseen. So that would definitely be one of the most important things. To get this to be a success, we need somebody there who can definitely keep an eye on things and make sure that everything is transparent, everything is going according to plan, and we don't get these excuses of, oh, we couldn't do this because the chickens got sick, and we need accountability. This is what we need in order to be successful, right? And then another thing I wanted to say is, I think we have an advantage, all of us being in different parts of the world, for future planning. Imagine if we could all figure out how we could export our products. Like if we went into this like commercial farming maybe, and imagine we could export to all these various countries, looking long term, and looking to maybe make the millions in the future. This would be an advantage for us, right? Because we would have experience of the various countries. What would the people want to export? I mean, I've seen like in, is it Belgium? They import a lot of vegetables and fruits from Zimbabwe, and I'm sure many other countries do the same. I'm pretty sure they do. So yeah, that's what I think.
Wow, guys, now you're all in trouble, because she's basically saying, have somebody on the ground, okay? Make sure there is no excuses, and then use the people around you that you're working and coming together to build the trust, so that you can in future send things from the same Zimbabwean project now that you're generating to their country now, where they've been living and doing all these things, and you're going to create a network of business network through the people that you've done business with. So to me, that is like a very amazing answer. It's very high up there, okay? It sounds very focused. It sounds like somebody that can see that, okay, if we do this right, we build the trust, we can do anything. So I think that's a very big answer. Prince, you're next, right? So I hope you guys are getting ready. And like I said, just start to think strategically as the boss of this thing. And you have to pick just 2 people. So, while we're thinking, Prince, what you're going to do now is you're going to tell us your focus areas and all that. And then you're going to tell us, reveal who are your 2 strategic people. Look around, okay? You've been listening to the people. Look around, check everything out. Pick your 2, and then just tell us briefly why. Okay? For example, I might say I'm going to pick Mr. Mack because he's honest, he's like a brother to me, and most importantly, he's very focused. Okay? But unfortunately, Mr. Mack is not part of the people that you guys can pick. Okay, unfortunately. So that will be a very easy answer. But start thinking strategically. Prince, so you get 2 questions to ask in 1 minute, in 2 minutes, sorry. 2 questions to answer in 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, what I was going to say prior to that was, for me, I think money and motivation are important for this to be successful. However, the thing that trumps everything is discipline. I think if everyone can have discipline in terms of, again, going back to where I said the why, that's the defining characteristic that we need for the group, discipline. Because with motivation, it comes and goes, just like you have with money. But then if you've got the discipline, you're just constantly going where you need to go to. And then just in terms of who I'd be choosing at this stage, my first one would be Lillian. Yep. Why I would choose? She comes from a banking background, so I believe just in terms of how money moves and operates in the world, probably best person to, in my view, to be in that position. Because she's probably got better understanding of how monies flow and currencies. And then I also think of, is it Taku, who was in previously? I like his risk appetite. It more or less resembles where I've been, in terms of maybe even the trading and investing side of things. Going back again to my point where, for me, money is not important because I've had loads of money and I've lost loads of money at the same time. But once you've distinguished or had that period, you tend to find that money is not what drives you to be successful in life. It's what you can do besides the money. And I think, for me, those two is who I would choose. That's where I'd go for.
Right in time. Okay, guys, now listen to this. Maybe, so Prince has picked his best two horses, Lillian and Taco, okay? He's been very strategic, okay? So maybe if it was my choice, I would pick him, because look at what he's looking at, okay? So thank you very much for that, Prince. Remember, guys, we're all being rated here. So you're going to have to choose your best two horses here, because that's how you start to build those alliances and build trust anyways, right? So very important. Thank you very much, Prince. I know that Andrew has put his hand up, and then after that, we'll go straight to Sean. And you guys, Sean and Andrew, all you have to tell us is, who are your two horses and why? Mr. President, you know what's happening, right?
Yes, I
You're
know what's
writing
happening.
everything.
I'm ready. Yes.
Should I go on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. For me, I think I would pick Lillian as well. She does have extensive experience in banking, which I think would serve as an asset. I would also pick Prince. I sense a depth and a maturity in Prince, and discipline as well. I don't think you get to where Prince is in terms of his career without some form of discipline. So those would be my options.
So look at Andrew already getting in that strategy in. Guys, let me tell you something. I like the way you guys are thinking. And most importantly, what I've noticed, and I don't think it's by design, is that on the one side you've got a man and on the other side you've got a woman, okay? So it's very important, it's a balance, but it doesn't have to be. Maybe you can just pick Mr. Mac and you can pick Andrew. That's your two horses. It doesn't make a difference because you're looking for something deeper in that person. Okay, guys, so now next up you've got Sean. Sean, you're going to have to go from Sean. We're going to go to Gambia to pick your two horses, and then from Gambia we're going to go to my sister Serapi. You're going to be now the third person after these guys.
So, so for me, for my first two people, I picked based on four qualities that I was looking for first. So my four qualities first was I would like for a good working space, yeah, and the second one was balanced appetite in terms of investing, and the third one was different skill set, and the fourth one was vision and hard working. So for my first one, I had Andrew, because I think he's kind of more of like a aggressive. When you were saying, you said like he's more like an aggressive investor, and I kind of am sort of in a way of sometimes I could be an aggressive investor, and I like that. And my second one, I had Lillian, because she has that warmth feeling when she talks, and I like that. And I had more like Tintin Prince, is it? Yeah, brother Prince. I think is a outspoken person as well.
Yeah. But hold on. You're only allowed two.
All right. Yeah.
So you already went for Andrew and you went for Lillian. Now we all know that everybody wants Prince. We all know that everybody wants. We all know that everybody wants Andrew. We know that everybody, but you can only go for two, unfortunately, because even myself, I can only go for two. Okay. So thank you, brother. We really appreciate your choices, because these are very precious people. They are trying to prove themselves, and you too. I would go for you too. By the way, I would go for you. So I just haven't taken my choice yet, right? So next, I think we said it was going to be. Is it the Gambian brother?
Yes, for me, my two choices will be the two ladies, the Lillian, and I think the other one is a lawyer, right?
Yeah, continue. There's only two ladies, so we know which two.
Yeah, because for such an company, you need somebody who is working in the bank to know the numbers, and you need someone with a lawyer, because the lawyers know how to deal with the papers. So I think these two will be my choice. And yeah.
Wow. Now listen to what the man did. Okay, he took the two best candidates and put them on both sides. One is from the bank, is going to help him with count the numbers. The other one is going to bring the business. Wow, these are very good choices. Lillian and Serapi, there's a lot of votes of confidence on you guys. So I hope you guys are thinking strategic, because don't forget the person who came up with that team. What about him? Why not Andrew? Why not Prince? Why not Sean? Okay, so keep thinking, guys, because this is your only chance that you get to pick your two. Okay, so who do we have next? I think we have Sean. You already went. I think Lillian. Serapi. You're coming, and then Lillian.
Yeah. So in an ideal world, I would pick Mac to be the man on the ground, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. So I would pick somebody who is honest, trustworthy, and I don't know, I 100% trust Mac. I've been watching him from ways back, and I've just been like, yeah, this man has integrity. So I'd pick somebody with those qualities. And then Prince, yeah, Prince seems like he has those qualities as well. I've just met him now, the short time that I've been listening to him speaking. Yeah, seems like a trustworthy fella. And that's definitely somebody we need on the ground, right? Then I would pick Lillian, because she has this financial and business experience, and she also has this authority about her when she speaks, which I really admire. And I think we need somebody who has authority as well, because in order to keep these projects in shipshape, we've got to have somebody who can direct people, and the people need to respect that person and follow through with whatever their tasks are. So we definitely need somebody like that.
Guys, you heard her very clearly. She talked about authority. We need somebody with authority. Now, fortunately for you, Serapi, you already have Mr. Mac. He's still going to be there. So don't worry about losing him. You don't have to choose him. So you still have him. And then you still have Lillian, who has got authority, and she knows how to handle things because she's got the experience. And then you've also gone for Prince, because Prince is Prince Charming. Very interesting. So, guys, you see where we're going, okay? I want to hear more people. I want you guys to tell us your choices, your strategic choices, who you think is going to be the person you can entrust with your money, time, effort, and give them a chance to lead just for now. Because after maybe a year, those people are going to be voted out, or there'll be definitely a rotation. But who are you going to give it to? Obviously, you're going to have yourself, and you have two people beside you. So we're moving on, guys. I want Godwin to give your two choices, and then Andrew. Okay, Godwin, network issues. So, Andrew, you give your two choices. Then Malachi, please, if you understand what's happening now, I think you understand what we're doing now. You also pick two people that you would like to choose as your core people. One, if you're given the job of running this committee, and then I think the only person that's left after that is Taku. Then I'll give mine, and Mr. Chairman, you'll give yours. So please, in that order. We still have Lillian. Okay, thank you for reminding me after that.
I think I'd already given my choices, but maybe you missed it. I can repeat. I'd mentioned Prince.
Yes. Oh, you were the first one. Yes, you're right. I missed it. You were the first one. So the next one is Taku, then Lillian.
Yeah, I think in terms of like the decisions that I make, simply based upon the discipline part of it, I think when you're making any investments, you want someone who's going to assess things, make sure that everything's been ticked off, and get based on his background as well. I think you mentioned something about real estate construction. It's a very infrastructure rather. It's a very fast-paced industry, and there's a lot of risk to review and to analyze. So I think I'll probably go for Prince on that basis, because if I'm investing my money into something, I need to make sure that he is looking at all the risks and that they've been captured and they've been understood. And then the next person I would go for, where is he? Is it Andrew? The one who said he was a lawyer. I think just to bring that diversity of outlook. While someone, I think one of the first that we discussed on Mac's channel on Kumusha was, like building houses or building something and so on, those kind of things. You need someone who's going to look at the fine print. Someone who's not in that industry, who's far removed from that, will give you another perspective. Because sometimes if you get people in the same industry, they see things the same way. But because in a different spectrum, he will give you a different outlook that you normally see. Yeah, those are my two.
So my question to everybody, and thank you for that very wonderful, detailed answer. Who is the lawyer? Do you want to just unmute yourself and remind the people your name? Because you're going to lose votes if nobody knows who you are. Maybe, Andrew, it's you. Maybe it's the person who introduced themselves as a lawyer.
I am the lawyer. I practiced law in Zimbabwe for 2 years before I came to Canada. And I've been in Canada for just over 2 years, and I recently qualified as a lawyer here as well. So I'm a lawyer in Canada as well. So I'm the lawyer. I've been working for the government here in Canada, but as of next month, December 1st, I'm moving to a private law firm.
So you heard it, guys. That is Andrew, the lawyer. Okay, so yeah, we don't have to call him the lawyer anymore. We can call him Andrew. Okay, so moving on, I think you haven't picked, right, Andrew? You've done your people?
I have.
Yes, I have. Okay, Lillian is next, and I keep feeling like I missed somebody, but anyway, after Lillian, we'll figure it out.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm kind of multitasking here. I put somebody on, I'm multitasking, I'm working here, I'm working somewhere, and I just put somebody on hold right now. So I know the question that we are covering. Who am I picking?
Who are your
set
two
up for us.
strategic soldiers? Your two strategic lieutenants?
I'll tell you one thing. There's something that I like from Sarah that she said. The idea of us shipping things around, that really caught my eye. I'm like, that's what I'm looking for. We can make money in so many angles by just us together as a team. So Sarah, I pick Sarah for that. I like that idea that you were coming up with. And the next person I can choose is Tintin.
Prince. So you would go with Prince, and what's the reason?
He has experience that I don't have. He would give me a perspective of something that I don't have. That's the reason why I'm picking him. I like his
That's
idea
really amazing,
when
guys.
he's talking.
That is good news. So, Mr. Prince, Sister Sarah, you guys sound like you're heating up, and Andrew sounds like he's also heating up. And but we're not done yet because we still got more time to get some new names in this thing, and it's not over yet, okay? Just because everybody's voting for these guys, it doesn't mean you have to go for them. But if you like them, why not? Make your best choice. So now we are left with who hasn't given their own now. I think we're all done, okay? Godwin gave his one. Oh, no, he was struggling. So Godwin, do you want to now give us your perspective? Do you want to tell us which two people you would choose from this group to help you run this organization? And you have to unmute yourself as well. And you have to tell us who are the two people you would choose to help you run the organization, and also tell us why you would choose those two people. But try to just keep it to 2 minutes.
First, I would like to go for the Gambian guy, just for the sake of diversity and to show our Africanness as a continent, that we can work together as Africa. I would pick the Gambian guy. Then for the ladies, I think I will pick again a lady, Sarah. For the ladies, yeah. I think
but you don't have to pick. But you don't have to pick the ladies if you don't want. If you don't think that they are your best.
No, I agree with that. In whatever team, yeah, with the lady involved in the team, yeah, there's always direction because the ladies they lead quite well most of the time. Yeah. So they
wow, that is a big answer. Now you yourself, you are trending, Godwin, because I see how you're thinking yourself. You're trending now, because when there's a lady leading, there's always something gonna happen, according to you. Okay, you can continue. I'll give you one extra minute because I like what you're saying.
No, the thing is, I've got nothing much to say because I lost most of the discussions because my network was poor. So most of the guys I didn't hear actually hear most of the things they said. So I'm just picking as per my suggestion is like I said, the Gambian guy for diversity sake, and then one lady also. That's much I can say because I didn't hear much about
which lady are you gonna go for?
Sarah.
And why?
I'll go for Sarah.
And why?
No, like I'm saying, the English part or a qualification that didn't hear much here because my network was so poor. I was just
I understand. Okay, sorry, I'm putting you on the spotlight, but I understand. First, your strategy is I need a lady because she's gonna make things happen, and if I have to choose between Sarah and Lillian, is based on what you heard, and which probably was not much. But we like your votes. In fact, I think you are trending now because they see people that you're a strategic somebody, and you chose a very good choice. So I want to now see if there's anybody left that hasn't chosen their people. We're 1.5 hours into the call, so in the next 5 minutes we should close it. So the only two people left now that are gonna choose their own two horses is myself and Mr. Mac.
No,
But
and Malachi.
And who? No, Malachi went first.
No. It was Prince that went first.
Okay, Prince went first, but Malachi gave his, I'm pretty sure.
No, he hasn't given his yet, no.
Malachi hasn't,
Yeah, he because he came. But I think it would be difficult for him because he's not really heard what other people say. But yeah.
Okay. Malachi, are you there? Why don't you talk for yourself?
Okay, I appreciate it. So, of course, I can't make an uninformed decision because I hadn't heard the other guys speak early on. But from what I gathered from everything else that's been shared, I think there is mention about, the legal aspects, the financial aspects, as well as perhaps logistics. So I think, a typical C-suite organization has the chief executive, chief financial officer, and chief operations. And I think, it's only fair that, given the executive leaders who are focusing on the vision and strategy, it will be great to see someone take up that position of operations. It could be any one of our seasoned guys who are just good with doing business in Zimbabwe. I think for the most part.
So which of the people on the group, based on any factor you want to choose, maybe they are the well-dressed or whatever, would you choose? Because ultimately, and I'm sorry you didn't get in on time, but we have a process where we are going to make a short listing.
Of course. So I hear the name Prince, and I hadn't gotten a chance to hear his background, but I think, people are vouching for him. Perhaps he knows how to navigate the Zimbabwean marketplace. And I think maybe if we had to choose operations, that would belong to somebody like that, because I think Zimbabwe is not an easy playground when it comes to business. And then, so that's on the operation side. And then financial, of course, if we have someone in banking and law, I think, best practice is to consult someone like that to take up that position as far as just the legal financial aspects are concerned, because at the same time, putting money into Zimbabwe and taking it out is not necessarily easy, especially gathering money from overseas from many different countries. So people have to know more about finances and about operations. And then the
so your first choice is Prince, and the second choice
is the lawyer or the banker, or the lawyer and
that's
the banker.
Andrew. So no, we have a lawyer and a banker, two different people. So the banker is Lillian, which is a lady, and then you have Andrew, which is the handsome man from Canada.
Okay, wonderful. If they could share
He's
that,
the lawyer, so you have to choose one. You cannot have all three, unfortunately.
Okay. I think the lawyer actually tends to know the legal aspects of the financial responsibility. So I think the lawyer and Mr. Prince. So Andrew and Prince, at least if I can blindly nominate.
So thank you very much, Malachi. Guys, did you notice something? You noticed something. Even when I tried to tempt him, I said the good-looking guy, he didn't go according to that. He chose the law in the man, okay? So why we do this process is because this is an intellectual discussion. It has nothing to do with whether you're male or female and where you come from or how it looks. It's about what you can bring to the table, which is your brains, your skills, your energy, your mindset, and that's exactly what's happening here. So congratulations to you, Andrew. You're getting another vote from what it appears like. And the other choice was who again? Malachi, what was it? Oh, Prince, right? Prince, yes. So congratulations to you, Prince, for getting yet another allocation. So ladies and gentlemen, I think it's been a very good and interesting interview. Okay. I think we've all gotten a chance to get us to say something. Some of us were able to do more because they came on time or whatever the case might be, so they were able to get in more words. I know Malachi looks like he has a lot to say. We just didn't give him enough time. But don't worry, Malachi, we're not going to forget about you. It just happens we didn't get enough time to because we are all one family anyway, right? So, Mr. Gambia, just tell us again your name, because everybody keeps calling you Gambia, including myself. Because somebody voted for you. Just tell us your full name so we can know you a bit more.
My full name is Sankung, Sankung.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, did you get that spelling? SAN?
Yes, I got it.
AUNG. Okay, so you're from Gambia.
Yes.
You want to take some risk and put some money with some Zimbabweans. And people think that you have a nice idea and aura. So just tell us a little bit more, why you think this is even a good idea. You don't know these people, they are from another country and all these things. So why do you think it's a good idea?
Let me give you an example. So in Germany, there was a group, a bunch of white people from one is from Germany, the other is from England, and the third one is from France. So they started a business in Gambia. So they are completely from different countries, but they set a, how they call it, a background so that nobody can cheat or something like that. So the foundation was so strong that the business they started in Gambia, now it is $1 million business there. So it's not about which country you're from, it's about the people you work with. They have the same mindset, they have the same goals, and if you have a good foundation, a proper foundation, that everybody will hold accountable what they did, so you can thrive. That's why I said it's not. It doesn't matter where they are from, Zimbabwe or from South Africa or from Mali, because I'm an investor. I invest in how they call it, in crypto ETFs, and I'm starting my real estate business here in Germany. So that's why I said I'm always interested if I see people who are going, Africans, that I say that, who are ready to invest.
Guys, you heard him. This is an investor. Money doesn't know country, color, anything like this. This is the first thing. Secondly, if you're going to take risk, look who's around you, the people that you're working with. And these are the words you got from the man, right? So you wouldn't be surprised if I voted for him also. He said that people, he saw an idea of white people, they don't know each other, they set everything up, things are working. And then he also said that he wants Africans to come together. So, Mr. Chairman, my first choice, okay, even though I wanted to go for Andrew, I wanted to go for Prince, I wanted to go for everybody. I wanted to go for Taku. I had many reasons I wanted to go for everybody, okay? But I have to take my first choice, which is, Mr. President, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
It's my brother from Gambia, Sanku.
Okay.
Okay. I even wanted to go for Godwin because that's why I told people he was trending, but I can only choose two guys. I'm sorry, okay? And my second choice, even though I wanted to go for Lillian, is Sarah, okay? And let me tell you guys why. Because Lillian got too many votes, and I just wanted to show her that I can use my vote to go against her. Okay, so now I'm gonna go for Sarah. And finally, I really like everybody's energy, guys. The whole purpose of this exercise is for us to be free, to get to know each other, to listen to everybody's ideas. The people who are going to get the highest votes from a very transparent and open process are obviously going to be pushed up. They are still competing from the other group, which was just as tough and very sophisticated. So it still gets narrowed down to the final, right? But the good thing is, we did it all together. We learned from it. And most importantly, now we can even find new friends, people that we've been on the group, and if we want to do business with them in Germany and so forth, we have sort of like friends or people that we can. And then we connect, and that's how we grow, right, together. So it's not that I only like these two. I like pretty much everybody. Now, for the final moment, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Mack himself, you're going to make your two final candidates. Okay, people try to choose you, but you cannot be chosen.
Right. Okay.
So I'll give it to you.
All right. Thank you. Right. To be honest, this is very difficult to choose from because there is several disciplines that are ideal to make this work, and obviously several disciplines that I would like to have, in order for this to function. But I would say the most crucial for me at the moment is the law side of things, because we can raise all the money, do everything, and before you know it, if we are doing things wrong according to the law, we could lose it all. So law for me is having someone with that background is very, very important. So for that reason, I'll go with Andrew. The second part is money. This whole thing is based on investment, and the foundation of all these investments is the monies. So understanding how the money works, all the rules around it, and that is a perfect combination. The law and the monies is, since I have two options, is what I would go for. So that would be Lillian. So Lillian and Andrew, those would be my choices.
Wow, those are big surprises. I was hoping you're going to go for something more colorful like Gambia, or go, with something more colorful like New Zealand, or from, or Mr. Prince, he's a prince. You didn't even think that about him. He's a prince. The prince, they come with everything, money, they have connections. Mr. Chairman, can I use corruption to change your decision?
No. That won't work.
It's not going to work. So
Yeah,
these
yeah.
are your final two choices.
Final
Ladies and
two
gentlemen,
choices.
you heard him. He said Andrew and Lillian. I even tried to bribe him. You heard me on the line. I said, I'm going to give you money so you can change your decision. He said no. So this was a wonderful experience, okay? I think everybody understands what's happened. Mr. President, you have a top a list of people. You want to give us the results so that we know where we stand, and then you want to tell us what's going to happen next, and then after that we can close.
Okay, so if you can give me about 2 minutes or so I can just add up everything, and then I will jump in.
So, oh wow, that's amazing. You're actually writing things down and adding things up. So this is really serious. I thought you were just gonna use your head and you don't have to worry. But guys, listen, what we are trying to do here is definitely gonna be history in the making. The most important thing, I've been doing investments for 20 plus years. Okay, the most important thing is exactly like what Sanko said. It doesn't matter which country you're from. And it's exactly like what Lillian said. You need support, you need delegation, okay? It's exactly like what Prince said. You need to be able to think about it as an innovation. Innovation simply means we're doing things differently than what it used to be before, okay? Then you need unity. Somebody mentioned that Zimbabweans have never done it to come together, which is not 100% true, but I wanted to give you a chance, but you have a big point. We haven't come together because if we had come together the way we're trying to do it and the way a few people have done it, and this was the energy across the country, imagine what we could achieve. Because in Italy, of all places, and I don't know if anybody's researched this, in Britain, in Australia, in America, they come together as diaspora people living in different countries. Some of them work in war zones. Some of them work in beautiful countries like Dubai. Other ones, they work in another country because the government sent them there. And they always come together. And they always make plans. And sometimes they build estates in America. They buy the land. They do the work. The same thing we are trying to do, they are already doing. Okay, so, and somebody specifically said we need to come together. I think that was Andrew, to give full credit. So the point here, guys, is I'm really flattered the people, the quality of people that you guys are. Okay, I think all of you deserve your own round of applause, and unfortunately, we're not meeting in person. And secondly, there was no bias. People didn't go according to race or gender or anything. People were just looking at, this is the people I want to work with because I can feel the vibe. And that's all we have for now. We have vibe. But the good thing that's going to happen is this. We're going to get the top people who have obviously the most points. We're going to announce that list. Those people are going to receive an email to say, congratulations. Now you're going to do a one-to-one interview. We want you to send your CV. We'll go through the CV and we'll check everything, okay? Remember, we're going on trust and honesty, so just make sure you're being honest, because what I believe, and I've worked 20 years in investments, is we will eventually have a compliance department. They will check for references. And again, it's not that we're police officers, but we just want to make sure, because everybody's worried. Nobody wants to lose money. We all want to build trust, things like this. So just be honest. I mean, we're not going to judge you if you've been a gardener for 20 years and you know how to make computers. It makes no difference. We just want to know that, we're dealing with the right people of integrity. And then finally, after those interviews, we'll have to finalize the list of either 5 or 7 people. We've already gone through interviews with more than 33 people in total. So you can see that it's not it's a very tight race. There's a lot of people, a lot of knowledge. And unfortunately for Mr. Mack and myself and the other guys, we will have to just come up with a much smaller compact. But the beautiful thing is, this is not a permanent seat, okay? It's not a permanent seat. Why? Because it's based on merit and performance. And everybody is going to see how you're performing based on your work. You're going to communicate to the people on this board. That's what you're going to do. You're going to have a team. You're going to have to work with them. You're going to delegate, right? We are here to support. Okay, we will give you a lot of resources, a lot of support. Mr. Mack has already built a very good system with an investor dashboard. He will be announcing that once whoever is going to be sitting on the committee is ready to then you will announce it. There will be demos. People will try. And then we'll be working together to make sure that this thing is a success. At the end of the day, this is capitalism, okay? But the most important thing is we're a community. We have a purpose that brings us together. The money side, if you have the right ideas, the right team, it will come. But the community, you cannot buy. And so, Mr. Mack, I hope you're ready now because I'm going to give you back the mic.
Yes, I'm ready. And thank you so much for that. So far we have, and this is the order of how many votes. Lillian, 6 votes, followed by Prince with 5, and then Andrew with 4. And this is a tie with Sarah as well with 4 votes. And then we have Sankong with 2, and then Taku with 1. Now, here's the thing. Although we have these numbers here, they're not fixed to say, okay, this is exactly what we're going to go with. We also have another list from yesterday that we need to compare, sit down, and make sure that we pick. But one thing I'll tell you is it's not going to be very easy. So if you don't go through to the next round, it doesn't mean that you don't have the qualities. It just means that perhaps maybe it's a very tight decision that we have to come up with between you and the others. And also, as Mr. Choto mentioned, these are not permanent seats. Of course, if you feel like for whatever reason you're tied up with work or something is happening and you can't perform, then this is a seat that you need to give up. And the people that will be on the waiting list who would have been, in that seat, they can be called on to take on that seat because at least they've gone through the whole process and at least we have a bit of an idea of who they are. So the idea here is to have a solid team which is going to help us with this vehicle to move forward. As you can imagine, I cannot do this on my own. I need various different types of disciplines and expertise to help me as well shape this whole thing to make it work. But the most important thing is it needs to have a DNA of trust, accountability, and transparency. I mean, I can challenge you. Wherever you're going to find problems, whether it's in the family, whether it's companies, whether it's countries, whenever you lack these 3 things, trust, accountability, and transparency, you're going to have problems. There's always problems. So we want to build something that is going to be long lasting, something that has a blueprint that others can follow from and follow and say, you know what, these guys have done it. And we can make all these steps open source as well, just in case others want to create something similar. It's not that this is proprietary to us alone. At the end of the day, we want something great for our country, and I think this is one of those foundations that we can build with people. I mean, right now we went through all this. Everyone has a very good skill set and experience, and this is what we need. There's not going to be a situation where it's going to be one person on their own making it. This is also not about, oh, look at me, I've done this. No, it's about team building. We need to be working together. This is not about getting recognition because I'm here or the next person is shining, because no, we need to work together. And I believe that with everyone that came in today, put their name down, you've done a very important step, because in majority of the times, you're going to notice that a lot of people talk, but when it comes to taking action, they shy away. Can you believe that from 44 people, we went down to about 20? And today you're a part of those 20. So it means a lot. And I hope that you carry this same spirit and energy and enthusiasm throughout to make this work. I just pray that, you follow through, because you've shown that you're not part of those people that just talk. So I think, Mr. Choto, you've explained the next stages. The next step, we're going to send an email out, and then we're going to get the CVs, have one-to-ones, and then we're going to announce the final team of people that we'll be working with. But there's also people here, the young guys. I know there's, I think it's Sean, the graphic designer. You know, I'm going to make a special announcement for anyone outside the steering committee who wants to come in with a special skill set to help this as well, to help it grow. Whether it's programming, whether it's graphic design. I mean, I can't do it all by myself. So if you want to come and be a part of this, I am going to make a special announcement so you can join in with your skills and let's make this work and let's make it happen. But overall, I'm going to say that I'm super excited and I'm happy that all of you today carry the vision that I have in order for this to make it work. Because it's not just about, oh, I just want to put in money and I want to get the result out of it. I mean, that's a lazy way of looking at it. But you've shown me today that not only is this going to work through just putting in money, but it's going to need the right expertise, the right people behind it as well. And it's part of how we're going to make this work. So thank you very much. It's given me a lot of confidence to take this to even the next level. So if I was, let's say, 60% confident that we're going the right track, now I'm even 99%. So thank you so much. And I really, really appreciate it. I'll keep communicating with all you guys.
Wow. So that means everybody has to put their, I don't know how you do it, but you can put your hand up to say, or your thumbs up to say everybody deserves a round of applause. And I really think the most important person today is actually you, Mr. Mac, because it's thanks to you that we are able to have such a platform, okay? You've gone as far as setting up the legal entities. You've gotten legal advice on how to structure it. You've set up a board. You're going to expand into the board. You've set up the committee. You've got the websites. You've got the system. You've got the channel. In other words, people are going to be very excited to see you on the channel now, telling them I'm on the ground and things are happening and this is what we're doing. I also know that even the local medias, they've heard about you. They want to interview you. So there's a lot of things that are happening, and it's thanks to you and your leadership. And of course, now we've got a bigger pool of people, and you made it very clear that it's not that if you're not sitting in the top 5 or 7, which is in this group, it doesn't mean it's an end for you. As long as you want a part to play, you're going to play because you're building a community. And what I am excited about is one day, hopefully not far from now, we'll meet some of you people face to face and we'll have a beer or a cup of coffee, depending on which one you like, or water if that's your thing, and cupcake or whatever if that's your thing. But we'll sit down together, we'll talk about the stories, we'll remember how everything started, and then we can actually have something to look at and touch and hold. And if I want to go further, I've seen this happen in Thailand, I've seen it in India, that the people have actually built a city, okay, from similar ideas like this, coming together, putting money, putting skills together, putting ego aside, right? And this is what the beginning of this is. So I really, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank everybody, and I hope to see you more active. And most importantly, don't forget now that we're starting, we need to do a recruitment drive to bring people so they can join us, so we can raise more money and build more things, okay? With the confidence of our founder and with the confidence of the people that's in front of us today that are going to be making those key decisions. And one thing I want to show you, don't be afraid. You know why? Because this has been done before. All of what we're doing here has been done before. And the people that have succeeded have always put unity first, ego second, and money obviously right in the back there, because they want to learn, they want to be a part of something. So it's definitely possible. I have no doubt in my mind. Mr. Mac has no doubt in his mind. And even talking to some of you like Lillian, there is no doubt, but we just have to come together now, put everything together and make sure we build a community, bring more people, and that sort of a thing. So for sure, I'm going to be bringing some of my friends, even my family, to join this because I have confidence, right? And that's what we want everybody to do. So we can have a city and be neighbors and do whatever, whether we build houses or we have small little farms or whatever ideas, because now part of the committee's job, you guys, is to come up with those ideas. What are we going to put as a project first? What makes the most financial sense? What makes the most profit sense? What makes the most risk sense? What makes the most social sense? what makes the most community sense. And then you put your minds together, put ideas, crunch the numbers. I can see Mr. Mac crunching the numbers up late at night, and then you come up with your first concept, and then people put the money, and then we start. So it's not far. Again, that's another thing. We're not very far from actually putting things going on, but it starts today. It starts yesterday. It starts when, a few months back. So I really want to thank you guys once again. And I have no further anything to say, except I'm going to give back the mic to you, Mr. Chairman, and then you can do whatever you want with us.
Okay, thank you so much. Does anyone have anything else to say? I think I've pretty much covered everything. So if you have something to say, just put your hand up, and then if there isn't, then we can just call it a night or call it a day wherever you are. Okay, Tintin, you can go ahead.
Yeah, it's just a question. So initially, when you set up the group, there was a number of 100. Is that still the case, or is it still open?
Right. That's a very good question. We started off with the number of 100, which is where all you guys came from, the initial 100 people. But there's also a waiting list, and you'll be surprised that that waiting list has close to 200 people. So,
but you didn't tell him how long it took the first 100 to sign up.
The first 100 took less than 48 hours, less than 2 days.
And you didn't tell him what I told you was going to happen.
Yes, no, I know. You did say that this was going to. It's very popular. It was going to happen really fast, and I was actually very surprised because I didn't think that people would really join this and want to be a part of it. But I was really surprised, and we haven't even started promoting this or marketing it. And there are so many ideas behind the scenes of marketing this project. We haven't even started, and already, we have close to 300 people. So it's really exciting.
Okay, so just to finish off, is there going to be a cutoff in terms of numbers, or what are you sticking with, or what's the plan?
That's a very good question, and these are the sort of things now I'll be sitting down with the committee to discuss this type of things now, because we have to look at the pros and the cons, and these are the sort of things that we'll be discussing as a committee before we move forward. But at the moment, as we speak, we are going to have, because as you know, when we start, you'll get 300 people, 400 people, but 50% will really commit. And that is evident in the people that put their name forward for the what? For the steering committee. 44, and then 20 came through. So a similar thing is going to happen. Out of those 300, maybe 100 are going to be really, really serious. So, but again, in terms of how we take this forward, these are the sort of things that we can discuss as a committee.
Okay, just one last one, sorry, yeah. So the other thing is, I know obviously the WhatsApp group is open to chats, and then there's obviously problems where there's a lot of noise at times, and then we can miss out important stuff. Like for instance, I had missed out on the this meeting going on because there were so many other messages going on, and it's when you have to go through all those messages that you find, oh right, that's where I need to. Is there a way of controlling that, in terms of, I think at this moment in time, as you point out, everyone wants to say something, but not everyone wants what this group is all about.
Yes, again, that's a very, very good question. Personally, I'm not a fan of WhatsApp, but this was the initial step that we could, that we needed before the website was ready. So all these conversations now are going to be happening on the website. And then we're also going to try and turn it into an app so it's easier to access. So we're going to have a community on the actual website. So there'll be notices highlighted if there's anything special going on. And there's also an email list. You'll be notified via email if there's anything going on that's really important. But of course, every now and again, you can always go into the community chat and see what is going on in there as well. So I think that's going to be a much better platform for us to manage and also maintain communication.
Okay. No,
And I just wanted to add one thing, and I know you might have a few more questions, because I think now, Mr. President, we can just keep it open. Maybe people have questions, some want to go. But just to answer your question, and then maybe people can leave if they want to leave, right? Because it's open. But to answer your other question about numbers, I think because of the 50% rule and the attrition rate, which means people are going to drop off for various reasons, financial conditions will change, interest will get waned, alignment will be off, different reasons, right? Because one of the things that the committee is going to do is they're going to basically put together a value, mission, vision, value statement, and what the focus is, and so forth. And some people might not necessarily agree, and so forth. But there's going to be new people who are very more aligned and more interested. So you have to keep the numbers open. In terms of what you're gonna put your money into, I mean, those are things where you have to look at the reality, right? You have to say, what are you gonna make on real estate? What are you gonna make on farming? What are you gonna make? And then you're gonna have people sitting in the room with you, telling you that this is gonna work, this is not gonna work, and then you have to work, right? And this is why risk assessment is very important when people talk about risk, because there's gonna be people with different risk assessments that are trying to come up with the best idea. So the best idea will win, okay? And the worst ideas are not going to be implemented, right? Because ultimately it's people and money. And we're at the heart of all of us, we're capitalists. And how do you make money? You work with the smartest people and you make the best decisions. And that's how you make money. There's no other way. Or you can steal it like some people, politicians and other things, but that's their choice. So Lillian, you had something to say. I think you're now, your hand's been raised for a while.
My hand is down. Tintin said something that I wanted to ask as well about the noise in the chat. But he already said exactly what I was going to ask about that, to say we don't like to waste time talking about things that really don't help us with anything at the end of the day. Let's be focused. And Mr. Mark, you're a visionary. And this dream here will not die. We'll fight until we reach our goal. And thank you to every single person that voted for me and everyone in this group. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, Mr. Mack, if you want to dismiss the ones who want to go, and then the ones who want to stay might still have a few more extra little things, or chit chat, and then it will eventually die down on its own.
Yeah, okay. So basically, our process is over now. But if you have anything else to say, or you have a few questions, we're happy to continue on. But if you feel like you have to go, then it's okay too. And thank you very much for participating one more time.
Well, thank you guys. So I'll be going as well.
Okay. Go ahead, Sean. Do you have something to say?
No, I was just gonna say I'll be going. It was actually a pleasure talking to you guys and seeing people with different ideas, and it has been nice. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sean, for joining. Really appreciate it. Cheers.
No, okay. No,
Take care.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, Taku, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask a quick question. I know, like in the discussions we had, there was, there was a need for certain skills within the committee, for example, the legals and everything else. But will you still be also outsourcing some of the legal aspects to lawyers? Because whilst, we've got these guys on board, they're also working their full-time jobs where they've got different commitments. But I think with what we're doing right here, it requires a greater level of commitment to actually make this vehicle go forward and work properly. So is that the intentions, or is the intention to start with the small group that we have in the steering committee, and then once we've gained the capital, then we expand to outsource to professionals, maybe chartered? I don't know. I'm aware that Lillian is a banker, but I don't know which type of banking she does. But there might be a need where we need to go to something that's a bit more specialized in banking itself. What's the plan on that regard?
Okay, I want to take that question.
Okay.
Basically, you need to remember one thing. you need to remember one thing. We're in 2025. AI started, let's call it last year or this year. This was a year of AI. Whenever you want to do anything and you want the smartest brains, go to AI. It will give you all the legal everything. What you then do is you outsource to whoever is going to give you the best value for your money. And sometimes it could be somebody on the team, or it might be somebody on the team's relative who has the skills, or it could be a paid person, depending on what's needed. So, for example, if you want to incorporate a company, that's something that pretty much most of us that's sitting on this team know. We've done it many times. You don't need to pay anybody for that. But maybe you want to buy a piece of land in a very complicated area. Of course, you're going to have to outsource to somebody who's focused on that, and that's not going to be cheap. So then you go to your investors, you raise the money, and you pay for it. So it really depends whether the need for outsourcing is absolutely required or not. And the key word here is absolutely, because you see now we're in the age of AI, and I've been using AI for a lot of my legal documents now. And what I simply do is I take the document that the person wants me to sign, I put it inside AI. AI tells me exactly what it says and what I need to focus on and what I need to be fit for. And that's going to cost me nothing versus going to pay a guy who's going to tell me exactly the same thing and I pay him money. But maybe I need a guy who knows the area. Okay, he knows everything that's happened in this area. He's worked there. He's sold a lot of transactions. There's been no problems. That person, you cannot ask AI to do it. You need that person because they know the area, they know the rules, they know who's in charge, they know what's happening. So it really will depend on if you absolutely or you don't absolutely need.
Okay. Do we have Taku, was your question answered?
Yeah, so I think just to be clear, so in the sense of that, going forward, as we're looking at this project of investment back in Zimbabwe and so forth, we are going to be engaging professionals at each stage and AI where it can be used. Because with AI at the same time, there are some times when there's discrepancies and there's errors in the AI that we're using. But I believe everyone on this call, they're also looking to invest in this vehicle and so forth, that they'll be engaged and as and when necessary.
Yes,
so that's a resource allocation question. What you're saying is, what are you going to allocate your resources on? Well, it depends on what the resources are. But yes, you need to deploy professionals. And professionals are not always paid because we've got a lot of them. We have a very, what you call, deep bench of people who've practiced law and people who are in the legal fraternity, okay? And people who are investors and they have their own legal firm. And they're just investing with us. So, of course, they're going to give us discounts and things like that. But it's how you allocate the resources, and that's exactly the job of the board of directors and the steering committee.
Okay, I think the last thing I'll ask again is in terms of like the risk going forward. Are you currently reviewing all the risks associated with everything that we're doing, and how are you managing those risks currently?
That's a very good question. The first risk which we encountered was we had a cyber risk. And Mr. Mack, do you want to just explain to him how the risk came in and how it was managed?
Yes. I think some of you may not know this. I know, Malachi, you were around. When we first started off this project, we were just doing everything on a WhatsApp group. Right, and it was infiltrated to a point where it was taken over, and people were being contacted behind the scenes, and some people actually felt very unease with the whole idea. So it was something that was very, very serious. I mean, in fact, at one point I even decided that I wasn't going to go ahead with this, but after sitting down and after having some advice and speaking to a few people, we decided that we wanted to at least improve the way we get our investors in place. So if you notice the process, this time was different. You first had to go to the website, fill in your name, where you're from, your address, your email address, and so on. That gave us a filtering, stage where at least someone is not coming with a fake name on WhatsApp and then harassing people or harvesting people's information. Right now, this is the initial step. The next step is when we then say, okay, we're now we require, let's say, a joining fee or members fee. Then is more information that's going to be needed, identification and so on, just like how any other company does it. So that way, we minimize the risk of people impersonating or giving us information that is false and so on. So yes, I mean we had that risk. It was a big scare, and that is how we managed to mitigate it, and we're also going to improve on that going forward.
And then in addition to that, you're going to get the following risks. You're going to incur what we call political risk, which means that you take your money and the government changes and there is a war and anarchy, things go really bad. We can't control it, neither can you. So those are what you call acts of God, but those risks are inherent. You can't do anything without worrying about that. Then you're going to have geopolitical risk. Things go really bad in South Africa, Mozambique. That's going to swipe you also. Then in addition to that, you're going to have currency risk because the government's talking about restoring the Zimbabwean gold as a currency, which that may or may not be a good idea because you're investing in pounds or dollars. Again, how you mitigate all of those risks, okay, is something that we will address when we provide investor education. So one of the things that was mentioned yesterday is we're going to start to create a section on the website and in the dashboard to provide investor education. Because some people, they don't know what's really going on, and some people are very advanced. So you've got somebody like Lillian who's run businesses across countries. She's helped her husband who has businesses. She's had her own businesses, worked in businesses. And then you got somebody like, the young man who's just starting out, doesn't really know much. And so what happens is we provide investor education. How do you diversify and work towards currency risk? Okay. And then in addition to that, we do what you call a pest analysis, which is basically all those factors. We sit down, we look at them when you're putting together your strategy. And then you do what they call a SWOT analysis. Again, it gives you an idea. Now, this is a granular level of the project where you say, what happens if you buy a land in Domboshava versus if you buy a land in Chinoi or whatever, what could happen there? You do a SWOT analysis. And that's the exact work of the team. That's what they're going to be doing behind the scenes. And they'll be giving updates and providing those charts and figures on your dashboard as an investor. This is a very professional investment vehicle with every single dot that's been on the I and across at the T. Because remember, every person who's in this has putting in their own money. So we want this to succeed, not because we don't think it's possible, but because we're putting in our own money. We want this to happen.
I think the last one would be in terms of like the initial investment that we start with. Would there be a minimum entry fee? Are you going to do fractional shares in the investments? The fact that you mentioned the point that there's currently 200 people that you had. I think it was an analogy that we know there's going to be a funding system when it comes to now asking for the money side of things. The numbers are going to go down. Are you going to ask for an initial a minimum, or are you just going to be like whatever you're willing to invest? What's the plan in that one?
Mr. Mac, I know I keep jumping into these ones because these are things that you like to delegate to the board, and so you'll have obviously your input on this. But I just want to throw my thing and then I'll give it to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So essentially, we've done a survey. We've already run some numbers. We've done some surveys, and the indication basically from these groups that we have, right, is that most of the people are looking for something where they can put in about $100 to $200 a month, as if they're going to do a long-term commitment, which is up to 2 years on a monthly side, and then it is an initial injection of $1,000 to $1,500. So what that means to you in your head, if you were doing the numbers, you would say, if I have 100 people and if they're putting in 1,500, then how much am I going to have? Okay. So you're going to have $150,000. Now, if you raise 150,000, let's say they commit to putting in another 200 over the course of 24 months. So essentially, you're going to end up with less than $250,000. Okay, that project is not going to be like building a mall. Okay, it's going to be a much smaller, tiny, tidy project, and it's going to take a lot less time and a lot less resources, and the legals are not going to be complicated, and the financials are not going to be complicated. It's really not going to be complicated. But then maybe those people would say, you know what, phase one was very successful. We worked on $250,000 or 150 or whatever. We were able to put something tangible. Now other people are coming, they're joining the group, and they want to put in 10 grand as an entry capital, and they want to put, you know, 2 grand as an ongoing commitment over 4 years. And that's how you do these sort of projects. But remember one thing: most of the people and the numbers are not big, but the brains behind all the people that you see, and they've managed more than $100,000 or $200,000 before, so it's not a big issue. It's just, again, you have to make it rules based. You need the people in the board to follow, tick all the boxes, and so forth and so forth. But think about the numbers now, because you remember different levels of skill set in investment. Some people actually spend 150,000 to buy a bottle of whiskey. You know, just they do that. Some people do that. So it's all different. But what's most important is you have a team of people who are experienced, they can handle, and they'll show the results, because that's what we're anticipating, is we want the result.
Okay, so do you have? I mean, I think you've pretty much answered everything there. It's going to be based on the money that the investors are willing to put in. So, anyway, do we have anyone else that has any questions before we call it a night? Okay, Mr. Malachi, go ahead.
Okay, awesome. That's why I know I joined the party a little late, so I probably missed some of the core issues that were addressed initially. But I just want to say thank you so much for this exciting initiative that's going on. I just wanted to find out, I think, one of the things that's very common in the business world today is that here in America, there's a problem where a lot of, founders of companies, businesses, haven't been able to successfully transfer their businesses and their vision to the next generation, because sometimes the mentorship that needed to be provided at a certain point in time wasn't offered, and now the business needs to be passed on because the person is elderly or they're now exiting, but nobody wants to take it on. Is there going to be an opportunity? I think this is something that I know Mr. Shoto mentioned the mentorship aspect, but if there are young people like me who are interested in being an apprentice, for example, a protege, just being involved, no particular position, no particular official, a role of authority, but just being a student of what the organization is doing, being able to sit in, to observe, to understand what's going on, such that at any point, those who are in leadership, those who have run the race for 20, 30 years are now exiting. There is this one guy who was a student of the organization from the time it was founded, and he's been there. And it's not going to be like a blind hire 20 years from now that a new person altogether who doesn't even understand how this thing has been running for 20 years is just going to be nominated or elected or hired or employed to take on the initiative. Because I think, we already come from a country where we understand how the transfer of power hasn't been a very successful thing. And I think in business, it's so important to see that happen within this diaspora community. I am 30 years old, and I can tell you the number of Zimbabweans who are in their early 20s, mid 20s, who are leaving Zimbabwe, going all over the world, is increasing so much. And these young people, of course, they can easily be disconnected to what's going on home, but at some point they're going to start thinking about, oh, I want to invest back home. And I think it will be great to have people in that same age group who are a part of this vehicle, who are on board, we just participate. And like I said, me just sitting in this meeting allows me to learn so much that I could never learn at school or university. So if there is an opportunity to, allow apprentices to sit in, to take in what's going on, and if it spans a space of 20 years, that somebody sat in and understood how this thing was run from the ground up. I think it's powerful for those people at one point to then be given an opportunity. Would you like to take up this position? But you're talking to someone who's been a part of the organization already for 20 years. I'm just using numbers. So yeah, I think that would be great because, like I said, it would be very interesting to see how 30 years from now, the baton wants to be passed on, but they aren't people who were there from the very start to understand what was going on. And we've seen that in Zimbabwe with bus companies, a lot of big companies that were started many years ago, they couldn't survive even a generation, right? Because they just wasn't that continuation, if you know what I mean.
Right. I think the short answer to that is definitely we'll have something like that. And I'm a firm believer in having something like this in place because if you really look at it, we are trying to get a lot of knowledge about money, about business, about financing from different sources of different places. So with a vehicle like what we have right now, we have a lot of people who are qualified and have different experiences. So being a part of this as a young man or woman, I think it exposes a lot of skill sets and a lot of insight to how things are run. And I definitely will be open to that. Mr. Chodo, what do you think?
I think it's a very good question. Okay. And I think that what happens now, we're living in a world full of opportunity. What you need to focus on is who you associate yourself with in everything you're going to be doing. There's a lot of money out there. Okay, too much money, I usually tell people. The problem is not the money or reaching or attaining it, it's the associations. There's a lot of good money and there's a lot of bad money. Good money is what you're supposed to chase after. Bad money is what you're supposed to run away from. And what's the difference between good money and bad money? It's in the who's doing it. Who are the people? Those people, if they're good people, they're focusing on running a proper company, then they know that they need to have mentorship. They know that they need to have different programs within a bigger program. So here you have a legacy program so that we can tell the Zimbabweans that we've done it. Okay. The second thing is you have a diaspora program, which means you have liquidity, you have access to liquidity because people in diaspora are working hard. They're not doing it for free. They're generating money and they only want to put their money with the best projects. Right, and it's not free. Just because we're a small little starting company and we're trying to become a big company doesn't mean people are going to feel sorry for us. They're going to say, no, what have you developed? What have you produced? What have you returned to the client and to the shareholder? And so when you put your money where your mouth is, you're going to get more than mentorship. Okay, you're going to get association, you're going to get network, you're going to get community, and then you're going to get participation where you put something into it. So the question I should be asking if I'm you is what can I put into it so that they'll allocate you something to be busy with so you're part of a greater project. So what can I do? I'm into graphic designing. No problem. You're going to be part of the communication team. That's for sure because you're part of the thing. Right. And so that's where you're going to be. And then when you get into those positions, you're now being strategic for yourself to understand the greater workings and to understand who you want to mentor you because you've got a lot of people that they've got skills and experience and age and whatever that they can mentor you. So you have this panel to choose from and other members and so forth. So that's the importance of building a community. Okay, as opposed to building a house and selling it or collecting 1,000 chickens and selling them. It's about the community.
Fantastic. Okay, so Sarah, do you have something to say? You're muted.
Yeah. I just want to say I'm very happy that I was here today and to meet all of you. And I want to thank all of you as well. And I hope we can move forward positively and you will pick the best candidates for your committee, and I'm excited. I'm here for it all the way. So I'll leave you guys now, and thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Yeah, so guys, I want to just basically say in closing, I think a lot of people are ready to go. And Mr. Chairman, you know me very well. Okay. When you called me to join your board of directors, I basically did not hesitate, not because I don't have anything better to do, but because I know your vision. And your vision is very clear. You've been to Zimbabwe, somebody living in the diaspora, you know the reality on the ground. You've tried, you've failed, you've tried again, you've succeeded. Because you do multiple things, you're not just doing one thing. And a lot of people, they don't know this, right? So you, as somebody who knows the reality, what is the winning formula here and what is the failing formula here, you took this as a big opportunity. But it's a big opportunity because of being able to bring people together. People are going to put $1,000, $2,000. It's not a lot of money, and you know that. Okay, that's not going to make you $1 million. Even if everybody put 1,000 each in all the groups, it's not $1 million to begin with. But you see the power of that. You see people coming together, putting together skills, ideas. And so the organization will definitely evolve. It will evolve. It's going to take its own thing. But the most important thing, we shouldn't lose the idea of community. That's why all these young people, we should have specific programs where they start to join and to get some things to do. Sorry. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Okay, fantastic. All right, guys. I am really tired now, and but all I can say is I'm really excited about this. And Malachi, don't worry, we're going to have a program where you guys are participating, and you'll have. I mean, it's not going to be just for us. This is not about us just shining, and we're doing this for showing us, for pride or anything. No. If I could do this behind the scenes without anyone seeing me, I would, prefer to do it that way, because I'm not the one who just wants to be there just to be seen, But of course, we want to get a lot of you guys involved, your skill sets. And I also like the fact that initially, I don't know if you recall this, you made the Q&A for me, and that made a big change, even though there was a lot of chaos. So we want a lot of you guys to come in and help, because as you can imagine, we've got other things that we need to be doing as well. So don't worry. That door will be open for a lot of you young guys to be a part of this whole program. So anyway, guys, I am really tired now, and thank you very much for joining, and you'll be hearing from us very, very soon. I would say by the latest Monday. I'll be sending some emails out with the instructions of what's happening next, and the next interview stages and so on. So thank you again.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Cheers.
Thank you. Take care.